Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I am aware that I shared a video of a person or a suspect, a criminal, with a similar profile as my opposition, Jalen Brown from Monterey Trail High School. And the it's not a question, but it is the psychology that they're trying to portray on me is the psychology that they are portraying on a lot of people, which is calling them criminals. And that is not the originator of that movement. So just like the movement to have both bathrooms into one bathroom and just label it bathroom, how that movement could have been taken over and hijacked and turned into a transgender movement for extreme evil. Basically, extreme evil that resembles that of Emmanuel Moreno, like grown up Emmanuel Moreno psychology. Not to offend, but I'm just saying that's how I can describe and articulate that. So the narrative is that when I got out of Rio Consumas Correctional Center was to stay in the shadows, to stay away from the public view, because the public is considering themselves the police, but they are not the police, right? Or they have that type of authority. And so because I haven't remained in the shadows, I've been out here. And why? That's because my dad does that, and because my aunts do that as well. They have no choice but to get their food from the stores. And so I have to represent that. Well, I have to be myself, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know anything else. So basically, so what I'm trying to explain here is that ideology of like the prison guard that is in the center of a circular complex, so similar to that of the 300 pod. So basically you have one prison guard that stays in the shadows, and then he patrols and observes everybody around him. And his advantage is that he is in the shadows. So this is the psychology that they could be transferring to Annie Nguyen from Monterey Trail High School, and having her believe that in order for her family to be safe and to be sound and to be away from harm, that they have to remain in the shadows to act as, to maintain their authority. And ladies and gentlemen, that may be true. So I'm here to disprove that, because that's no way to live, ladies and gentlemen, especially in 2026. And I don't know anything else, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a shot, that she has, right? So, and that's the only thing that I know, is like, it's like the guy is supposed to stand up for the female, right? And so what I'm saying is that my life expectancy, if she does come here and start growing fruits and helping take care of my employer's property, instead of remaining secluded in the shadows or in drug programs or in sexual programs or, whatever type of... See, they're going to get her into prostitution, into that type of lifestyle, even if it's not called that. Even if it's called escort and they call her a security guard, right? That's a false narrative. And so when she gets to that fork in the road where she realizes that her life is on the line, she has that opportunity to come here and help take care of the orchard here, or the fruits here, fruit trees, or something, right? Something to get her mind off of the reality of the situation at hand. And that's why the city of Elk Grove was incorporated. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I was supposed to stay secluded, but I didn't stay secluded, and they knew that was going to happen, so they incorporated the city, so that way that CO, or that person that was supposed to be always in the shadows, can finally step out of the shadows and be themselves and protect themselves with lethal force if necessary in the free world, like how it should be. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can articulate your case and I helped you with that, please leave a donation on my Patreon. I appreciate it very much, and it's very necessary. And not only that, you are helping out the United States dollar, which we have to understand that it was not that in itself is forensics, guys. And you're gonna figure out a lot, not just about yourself, but about like life. You're gonna figure out what happened in the 80s and all that. But people, that's why they're trying to go out into Bitcoin and other avenues of money, so that way they continue their fantasy life. So it's very important for you to think critically, to realize your metacognition skills and recollection skills, ladies and gentlemen, because that's why this all exists. And then you have people that are trying to distract people or keep people like on a entertainment run, like life, all of entertainment. Entertainment is there as a comedic relief, guys, as a distraction, because you need that sometimes. So, thank you for listening.